Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Today is May 11th, and I'm broadcasting from Los Angeles. I'm back. It's it's been an interesting comeback to Los Angeles. I arrived, and I immediately was informed that a friend of mine had transitioned and he passed away. So I'm happy to be back in LA and seeing my family and some friends, but I also feel sad because I lost one of my friends. And it's what to say. It reconfirms for me over and over again to something I always knew and something that I have been. I'm sorry, just one moment, because there's there's a gardener outside and they're doing some gardening. So I'm just going to wait for a moment. Okay. All right. He's gone. I've experienced this in past couple of years. My best friend, he passed away 2.5 years ago. And then a year after that, my dad left. And every time I lose someone who's very close to me, it brings me more to this reality that everything is very momentarily, and our relationships with people we love, people we care about, and people who touch us, is we need to be very aware that every time we see each other and we touch each other, it could always be the last time, and not taking anything for granted. And quite often, I've noticed that, and I'm speaking for myself, in the past, I took my relationships with the loved ones for granted, and kind of assuming that they're always going to be there. And also, I noticed that there were times that someone is maybe talking to me, or it's my dad or my mom or a friend, and maybe I'm in front of a computer and I'm just surfing the net and I'm talking to them, but I'm not really 100% present with them, and just kind of going through the motions. And I quite often, I catch myself if I'm doing anything like that, and I bring myself back into really becoming present with them, either cutting out the conversation and saying, okay, I need to go or whatever, or if I am going to continue listening to them, just being really present and listen to what they're saying and communicate with them, rather than just going like, okay, whatever that is. So I think this could be, or this is the topic of our conversation for today, is the fact that everything happens in this moment. And you can never take anything for granted. And we have whatever is going on, whether it's with your yourself, your health, your financial situation, your relationship with your family, friends, kids, your animals. It's your status in the society, whatever is going on, that a recognition that this is only happening in here and now, in this very moment. And everything can change from one moment to the other. And it can change drastically. And I don't want to kind of scare you, but I just want to emphasize on the fact that we live in this dimension of duality, and we live in this place in life that you have something here in front of you right now, and then it's gone the next day and the next moment. So the bottom line is, it comes to me and myself is, okay, what do I want to do with what I have? And do I want to live my life fully and do everything I want to do? Or I'm going to miss it. And if I have a desire of something I want to try, am I going to really do it and go for it? Or I'm just going to sit and not do anything about it and complain, or wish I would do it, or come up with a lot of excuses that I could have done this, or I can't do it because I'm too busy, or blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the bottom line is that we know ourselves what's going on. And we know when we're coming up with excuses. And because we're very good at it, and we can easily convince ourselves that I'm too busy or I don't have time. The interesting thing for me is that I was feeling this friend for a week to 10 days before I left the US, before I left Sweden and come back to the US. And I've been wanting to reach out and send him an email. And he kept coming up for me. And I clearly remember, like, a lot of times I came up with the excuses that, oh, I'm too tired, I don't feel like writing an email, or da-da-da-da-da-da. Or instead I would just lie down on a bed and watch a video or something, and not reach out and send my friend an email. And this kind of events makes me become more and more in tune and aware of the fact that I have developed this powerful intuition and this knowing, and we all are going in that direction. All of us are developing our intuition and sense of knowing. And quite often we keep hearing this voice in our head is whispering to us, call him, or call her, or do something, or give something to somebody, do something. And we just don't listen to it. I give you another example, is that 10 days ago when I was in Stockholm, I keep hearing about my mother, and something inside me was telling me, was whispering in my ear. And it got to a point that I started to get worried. And finally, I went out of my way, I made time, and I contacted my mother, and she picks up the phone, and I hear her voice. And I just can't share, I can't tell you how it felt. I was just so happy and so relieved to hear her voice, that she's okay. And it was very interesting that from the bottom of my heart, I was telling you, Mom, I really miss you, and I can't wait to see you, and I love you, and what are you doing, and tell me about your day, and what have you done, and da-da-da-da. So, and then, you know, she starts going through, telling me all her stories and everything, and I was really attentive in listening to her. And we hang up the phone and I start crying. And I'm crying that, oh my God, thank you, God. I still have my mom and she's still alive. And I can't wait till I get back. And I want to see her and I want to hug my mom and hold her in my arms. And I hope that I make it in time. And even though nothing emergency was happening, I mean, she's 90 years old. And I mean, logically, if you think about it, she's ready, she's ahead of me if you look at it that way. So she should go first before I go. But you never know. I mean, I may go before she does. But basically, I was just, it brings this urgency, this feeling of not panicking, but this feeling like, really, there is no time to play games, especially for those of us who we consider ourselves spiritual warriors. It's like there's no time to play games with anything. And I ask you to really look at yourself with the things you really want to do in your life and the people you want to reach out. And just see, is even though if you have some hard feelings or you're in this egotistical thing, battle with somebody. I mean, Shishi brought something very good to my attention this morning. We were talking about this and she said that this is what I should be sharing with you. I mean, this is what she brought up, was that I see it with myself that there are times like I have to be right with somebody. You know, we're arguing about something, whether it's a friend of mine or it's a family or it's a girlfriend or someone I'm dating or whatever, and I have to be right. And, you know, sometimes this urge to be right, that I have to prove that I'm right and they're wrong, maybe brings a little satisfaction for a few minutes or a day or whatever, but it doesn't make you happy. And sometimes it's better not even go there and just stay in this place of love with somebody. And it doesn't really matter if I'm right or wrong, but you have stayed in this place of love. And I feel that's more important than this, that I have to be right all the time or at times or whatever. So let's just take a moment and be grateful for everything we have. Let's be grateful for our relationships. Let's be grateful that we have people we love in our lives. We have our friends, we have our family. They're alive, they're here, and we have the ability to reach out and connect with them despite all of our differences. There are times that you may not agree on things, but can we, as spiritual warriors, can I go beyond my differences with someone that I love? And can I meet them in the unified field of love? Can I go beyond this difference? Whether we disagree on, we have political views, or I talk about God and the spirit and they don't believe in spirit and blah, blah, blah. You know, we have that with a lot of people in our families, that you have come to the world of spirituality and they don't believe in these things at all. To them, it's all BS. And quite often it creates divisions, and we don't want to hang out with members of our families because they don't believe in the spirit. So can we go beyond that? Can I put that aside and still meet a member of my family in the unified field of love? Go beyond my belief system, whatever that is. Or maybe I believe in eating healthy and taking care of myself and cleansing, and they are into eating a lot of crap. And then that creates a lot of issues between us to get into fights or arguments about things that my way is right and their way is wrong. Can I go beyond that and just simply love them and accept them for the way they are? So this is what I feel will help us to elevate our consciousness to a higher level. That can I open my heart and accept people I love and I care for the way they are? Or I'm going to stay contracted in this place and have judgments about them? Can I go beyond that? And I understand it's not a very easy thing to do. But that is a part of this path we're on. And there's no other way, really. Otherwise, we stay in this place of separation. And we just keep going around the cycle of separation and duality and judgment. And it will keep us from evolving to a higher place. So, keeping that in mind, I would like you to think about it and just see for yourself and reflect on that. And see and examine some of your relationships with people that you love and you care for, that you have big differences or some differences. And see if you can go beyond your differences with them while you still have time. I'm sure you can sense it in my voice that my heart is a bit heavy. And yeah, I'm sad. And that's the way it is. This is what is happening, and I feel it. And I feel it in my heart. And that's okay to be sad and to feel loss of somebody you care for. It's a part of life. And we all know it. We all know, and we see that all the time, of people we love and care. They come and go, and they leave expressions and impressions on us. They give us some sort of gifts of some sort, whatever that is. So that exchange happens all the time by someone entering into your life and being in your life for whatever period of time is, and then they leave. Whether they die or they leave you, or something happens, or they move to another country, or they get married, or whatever, and their lifestyle changes and they're not together anymore. But they leave an expression. And if we look at it from this other perspective, we can see that we always receive a gift from anybody who enters in our lives. And otherwise, they wouldn't come into our lives. If anyone enters into our lives and leave, it means there must be something that we had to learn from them or exchange with them, whatever that is. You're the only one who knows what that is. So, on that note, we're going to do a meditation. This is a new meditation. Some of you haven't done this before. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to stand up. It's a root chakra meditation. So, let's see. Right. So what we're going to do is that we're going to be, it's a grounding meditation. So we want to, what I'm going to push this down. I want to show you something. So from your legs and feet, you want to imagine that you've grown roots all the way down to the planet Earth, especially from your very root chakra. And your roots have gone into the planet. Now, this is an imagination. So you're imagining that you are a big, thick tree rooted into the planet, and nothing can move you around. And if there's a big storm coming, maybe the top of the tree, the branches, the leaves are shaking, but the very body of the tree is not moving. Now, as you're rooted, go up and down a couple of times and kind of move your body kind of like this, like nothing can shake you. Feel your connection from your feet to the earth completely. Okay? Now, with every breath you take, as you're breathing, imagine that you're breathing green light is coming through you, and it's going from your crown chakra, is going to the air, to the sky. So you're breathing in, you breathe this in, and this green light is coming in. And you breathe it out, and it goes up. So you have all these roots connected all over in the planet Earth, and you're pulling this green light coming in, pull it into your body, and then it's going out. Now, as you're imagining that, now imagine that this green light that you're pulling in, when you breathe in, the green light comes in, and you breathe out, the green light goes up. Now it's coming in a form of a spiral, spiraling through you. So you're breathing in green light, and it's spiraling through all your chakras, connecting your root chakra to all the rest of your chakras and going all the way to the crown, and it's going out. So you have your eyes closed. You're breathing in, breathe in. The green light comes in, in the form of a spiral, and it's going up. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to go up and down gently. Just do a little up and down. Now we're going to be making a noise. This noise, as you're doing that, you're making this noise. This is like a generator, generating. And it's pulling this green light from your roots through your chakras. And the noise is so you're going up and down, go up and down. And keep going. Can you unmute it and see what happens? Just curious. Going up and down. Yeah, just keep shaking, go up and down gently. And keep breathing in. Keep the green light spiraling through your body. It's going through, pulling the energy of the earth into your body. Sink into your center and put your hands on your heart. Come back to this place. Come back to your center. Come back to your love. As you have your hands on your chest, I would like you to feel your own being, your own presence. Feel your own being. And repeat after me. Okay, you start repeating after me. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
Okay, just again, one more time. Just do it wholeheartedly, okay? Just feel your own presence. Feel your own self and the love that is here. When you reconnect to yourself, when you come back to this place within yourself, here and now, without any stories, put your story away. Whatever you think of yourself at this moment doesn't matter. I would like you to put that away. Okay? Put away your judgments, your ideas of yourself. Put everything away because it's meaningless and it doesn't matter right now. Come to your own center. Sink into your own heart. come to this place where your mind is quiet and you're just feeling the love of the self, the love of God, the presence. And repeat after me. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love everybody.
I love
everybody.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody.
I forgive everybody.
Everybody.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm God.
Because I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why
I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
I say yes to love.
I say
Yes to love.
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 Yes.
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 Take a deep breath. Your center again. Just be here in your center, away from your story. Make sure you're not distracted by anyone in the house or your pets or your devices. Just be here with me. Be present. Be 100%. This is the only time we have together. So don't look around and be present, because this is it. Now raise your hand to the sky. We're going to do the Uhu meditation. We're going to start with Uhu and we're going to do Uhu. And you have your attention either on your third eye or on your heart. Keep your attention on one point, and we're going to jump up and down. And we start with Yahoo and we move to Uhu. So we start. Yahoo! Take a deep breath. Come back to your center again. Come back here in this center of yourself. Take a deep breath. And bring your hands close to your chest, but don't touch your chest. Just bring them close, like this. And bring your hands close to your chest. Feel the energy around you. Feel your auric field. Feel the presence. This magnetic energy force which is
Du må
around
lige
you.
lægge mit i køleskabet.
Your own presence,
Og
your
jeg kan
being.
godt spise nogle kartofler med dig.
Feel the love which is here right now. Connect to yourself. Connect to yourself. Get out of your mind. Move into your heart. where there is no thoughts and you're simply feeling your own being. You're simply feeling your own energy field. You simply can touch your own soul in here and now, in this very moment. You are by yourself, within yourself, in here and now, in this very moment. And you're connecting to your own divine self without any stories. Put your story away. Nobody's interested in your story. Nobody's interested in my story. Whatever his story is. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I am disabled. I am blah, blah, blah. No one loves me. I've been left out. I'm not pretty enough. Whatever your story is, in this moment, I want you to put your story away and completely connect to this energy field that you're feeling, which is here. The presence, this love, this being. And repeat after me. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
Planerat program ju.
I
Och det gör
love
inte jag
myself.
förut. Men sen när jag gör
love
det nu,
myself.
eller rätt sagt, jag laddar ner mig och så installerar det här liksom.
I love everybody.
För någon minut sedan.
Everybody.
Och sen
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody
I forgive everybody
because I'm love,
because I'm love,
because I'm light,
because I'm light,
because I'm God.
because I'm God.
That's why I love myself
That's why I love myself.
and I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
I say yes to love.
I say yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes.
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 Yeah. So gently come back and go back to your chairs and come to your own. Sit down and be comfortable if you feel like it. Just keep your attention on one point. Just keep your attention either on your third eye or on your heart. And just be still. sit comfortably and keep your attention on one point, whether it's your third eye, your heart. It's only attention. That's all it is. You're keeping your attention on one point. It's not a thinking thing that you're trying to think this or trying to think that, or you're trying to do visualization. You're simply sitting quietly and your attention is on one point. That's all. That's all it is. And you can relax into that. You can trust into this process by simply sitting, being quiet. Your attention is on one point, and then the magic takes over and it reveals itself to you. But again, I need to emphasize, this is not a mental process. This is not something you're trying with your thinking mind to figure out. It's simply your being. You're simply being in this moment. And as you're just simply sitting, not doing anything, you don't have an agenda, there is nothing to do, and there is nowhere to go. You're simply relaxing with your own being. You're spending time with your own being. And the beauty of simply being, simply sitting in quiet, in silence. The beauty of the presence, it reveals itself to you. It dances around you. It floats around you. It plays around you. It kisses you. It touches you. Slowly, slowly come back. Come back here. So we have a question from last, somebody sent a question. The question is, the more I sink into the silence, the more I'm bored when I'm in different settings. The more I'm bored, okay, the more I sink into the silence, the more I'm bored when I'm in different settings. Can you say something about this? The more I sink into the silence, the more I'm bored. Well, I'm not 100% sure if I understand this question. The more I sink into the silence, the more I'm bored in different settings. So I'm assuming that you're saying the more I sink into the silence, I come back to this place of being, then I get bored in different places. I'm assuming that, I'm not sure. Can you write back to me and explain to me what you mean?
I think I know what she means. Like, the more you're in that space of oneness, it's hard to be in the world where people are so shallow and like, it's irritating.
Yeah, can you unmute yourself and say that?
Well, she's typing. You want to talk with me? She's on the question.
Yeah, do you want to read your question to us? Is that okay with you? So, okay. Hi, Hilda.
Hi.
Yeah. Do you want to just share with us what your question is?
Yeah. Because I feel bored when I am with other people, for example, because it's too much blah, blah, blah. Then I get bored.
So now you're talking about being bored with worldly people.
Yeah.
Right? You're not bored when you're with us at the workshop, are you?
No.
And you're not bored.
Not yet.
And you're not bored when we're on the academy and we're talking about.
No.
Yeah. So you're bored with worldly people.
Yeah.
Well, join the club.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there, and now I know I shall just be in the silence, but sometimes I just want to just shake them, right? But I can't do that because they're not in my shoes, so I can't do that.
Yeah, I understand. So this is actually a good place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason for that is it's the beginning of kind of disconnecting in a way from the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's kind of disconnecting and slowly starting to see that this world, okay, which it seems, or it did seem to you prior to this teaching, maybe I'm assuming, very real, very important. Its problems, its issues, they really affected you, and they were real, and slowly it becomes unreal and unimportant.
Yeah.
Because you are referring into hanging out, spending time with worldly people, people who are interested in, they're not interested in the spirit. They're not talking about the spirit. They're not talking about the heart. They're talking about their intellectual. And after a while, you get bored with them.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what actually happens is, I think, I'm not sure if I talked about this last week, or maybe it was in a workshop. I don't remember when what was the setting when I talked about it, but this goes back into what I said I think last week. I believe so. It was at the academy. The higher level of consciousness, the more you're walking these mountains of consciousness to a higher level.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. The more you're getting in tune, the more your antennas are, your receivers, you're getting more sensitive, and they're receiving more, and you can understand more, and you're not looking at the world through this little keyhole, because prior to that we're looking at the world from this keyhole, and now you're opening up and you're starting to see the world's beyond, that it's a lot more than what we were thinking about. That average people, they come to this life and their goal is to go through the motions and, maybe go to school or get a degree and then get married and have children and accumulate wealth and trying to accumulate as much as possible. And this is the only life that they're going to live. So let's just get as much as I can. It's about me, me, me. And then at the end, I will die and it will end. Which is really majority of people on the planet. That's how they see life from that point of view. And so the more you're becoming aware and you're beginning to see, yes, you naturally get really bored with these people because you don't have very much in common. And you're looking for your spiritual family who understand that there's a lot more to life than just this perspective. I mean, that perspective is an aspect of it, but it's not all of it. And it's very limited. So yes, naturally you get bored in those settings. We can put it in another way. It's like you're doing the work. Now, I'm not saying this for any of you to go an ego trip on this. And you have to be careful about this, what I'm sharing with you right now, because it's very easy to get trapped into this. And it's very easy to think that we're better and we're higher than other people. Be careful about that part, but I'm going to share this with you anyway. Is that we can look at it, this is a way of looking at it, is you're doing the work and your mind's becoming more quiet. You're going from the world of the mind into the heart. You're going beyond the mind into the silence. And as you're doing the work, your vibration starts to change. You're vibrating in a higher frequency. And you're vibrating in a higher frequency. You can see majority of the world vibrating in this other lower frequency. Because majority of the world, people in the world, they perceive this life as separation. And they operate from fear and anxiety. So the more you're opening up, the higher is your vibrations. The more you begin to perceive life as oneness, as one organic unity, as one being, You begin to see it that way. You're feeling it that way because your perspective, this hole that you were looking through, it's getting wider and wider, and you start to see the connection.
Yeah.
As that is taking place. Okay? Now I'm using different words. All right? But don't hang on to my words. But your vibration is changing. You're vibrating from a higher frequency. So now you have separated yourself from the majority. And now you're starting to see from a much wider view. And naturally, you're going to have a lot less in common with majority of the people who are vibrating in this other frequency, because they cannot see the connection. They cannot see the oneness. They're operating from fear and anxiety and separation. They see life and others as separated as themselves. But you're starting to see everything is connected and everything is a part of yourself. And that requires a quiet mind. The more your mind becomes quiet, the more you're shifting and going beyond your mind. You're coming to the heart. You're coming to the being. The mind is quieting down. The fog is going away. Because when the mind is busy, there's a big fog, and you're kind of blind. You're kind of sleepwalking. You're not really seeing the truth. You think you know, but you don't know anything. You're kind of being dingy, and you're banging your head against this wall and this door and that door. And you're wondering why life is like that. You're wondering why people betray you. You're wondering why people cheat you. You're wondering why life is unfair. You're wondering why there is so many injustices happening in the world. All these stuff you're experiencing. But as you start to wake up, that's one word, starting to wake up. Or you're raising your vibrations to a higher frequency. Or you're moving from the mind, you're going beyond the mind to no mind. Or you're transiting from the head to the heart. Again, I'm using different words, different sentences, pointing out at the same thing. To see which word, which sentence that I'm using, you're going to connect with. So don't hang on to my words. Just pointing this out to you. But as you're becoming more awake and more aware and sinking to the heart, then you're beginning to see. And that separates you from the norm. That separates you from the majority of the people on the planet, because they're asleep. They're in a coma. They think they're awake. They think they're deciding what to do, but they're not. They're just being robots. They're just sleepwalking. And naturally, you're not enjoying their company. You get bored with them. So when you have to go and spend time with some of your family or some of your friends from your past, people of the world, the worldly friends you have, you may have a very strong love connection with them. You love them and they love you, but you're not in the same level. They don't know about the world of the spirit. So their conversations, their belief systems, it's all worldly. So now you have to lower your frequency if you want to hang out with them, because they can't come to your level. You have to go in their level. So you have to go in a lower frequency to be able to connect with them and hang out with them. But you're here. So for you to go there, it takes effort. Now you have to put effort in lower your frequency to go and spend time with them and be with them. And you can only do it for so long.
Yeah, they're quite funny that you're telling me that, because sometimes I need to go outside or to the bathroom to restore myself, you know.
Yeah. When I do that, I still have a number of friends and family that I have love for them. There's a lot of love between us.
You are freezing.
And we spend time together, maybe a few of us, and you know, I laugh. Huh? What was that?
It was frozen for a second.
Oh, frozen. Yeah, no problem. And yeah, you know, I spend time with them. We laugh, we joke around, we talk about this. These friends of mine, most of them, all they talk about is they're wealthy, they have a lot of money, they're successful. They talk about buying more homes, buying more companies, buying more land, cars, this, that, blah, blah, blah. It's all about money and business. And it's inspiring to listen to them because they're really experts in it, but I get bored after a while. Yeah. And I get exhausted. So I can only handle it for so long, and then I need to leave, or I just need to go to my room and be in silence by myself, or just, I don't know, listen to some music or watch a video or do nothing. But I can only handle it for so long.
Yeah, I understand you.
Yeah, seek the company of wise.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit difficult sometimes because I love them, you know, but it becomes more and more difficult, I think, or a challenge.
Well, you don't have to spend a lot of time with them, or you can also, what I talked about is, yeah, you keep it more limited, but when you meet them in the heart. You meet them in the love.
Yeah, of course.
Because you can't focus on the fact that they're not aware and they're not awake.
No.
Because then you're in judgment and you create separation, and now you're judging them. I'm not talking about you. I'm just in general.
Yeah, but I understand.
Yeah, right. So you have to develop this ability of going beyond the differences and the fact that they're asleep, and loving them for who they are and meeting them in the heart. And that's it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody has a question? I can unmute you if you want to raise your hand, or send a message to us via chat, and I'll unmute you and you can ask your question. No? Nobody has a question? What a good bunch. Okay, Petra.
Well, it's not really a question. It's more of a reflection of what Hilda was saying and what you were saying about our energy level, that our energy is perhaps a little bit higher. And I'm kind of wondering, do we have to? I mean, my whole family is at a different frequency than I am. And I'm not interested in lowering myself to their level. Again, I'm working very hard with myself to get to where I'm at. And I've got a long way ahead of me. So it feels like, 2 steps forward and 1 step back if I have to adapt myself, if you will. So is it possible for me to maintain my energy and hopefully be some type of a beacon for my family, that there's more out there than what they have?
Well, I'm not saying that you have to lower your vibrations to their frequency and be like them, because that's impossible.
Yeah.
But you communicate with them and you live with them, and you don't have a choice. It's like when last night yesterday I spent most I was with my mother from maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon all the way with my mother, then met with my brother and his family until 10 o'clock at night. And we were together, had dinner, talk about this, talk about that, Most of the time I was very quiet. Part of me was because I was feeling that I was sad. Another part was I don't have so much to say. Unless, sometimes I get involved in conversations, we're talking about this and that, and maybe they ask me about what's going on over in Scandinavia, but overall, there isn't a lot that I have to talk about. So I'm just hanging out with them, and my heart's open. I love them. I enjoy the moments that I have with them of we're together and everyone is here and everyone's healthy and alive. And I understand how limited that is. I cherish that. But conversation-wise, I don't have a lot to say. And of course, I don't live with them, so I don't have to deal with that all the time. But there is no choice. I mean, it's your family, and you have to deal with them. So, and there are common things that you enjoy at times. Let's say they're watching a game, there's a football game you're watching, everybody's so excited, and it may not be your thing, but you can join in and share the excitement with them. It's a common thing. Or you made an apple pie, or they're talking about apple pie, and there are moments that you're all talking about it, how great it is, or whatever, But yeah, you don't change your ways of going back, because you can't do that. But in the meantime, what are you going to do? You can't renounce your family and not connect with them anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So, no, you don't go back. You don't have to worry about that. But you find a way to have a foot in that world and to connect.
Yeah. What I'm finding is the connection is more honest today.
The connection is more honest?
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Well, it's when they have my attention, they have all of me. They don't just have part of me. They have all of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it feels like my relationships today are more honest.
Yes.
Than what they have been. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. I even connect with my dog on a different level. He now communicates with me, which is bizarre.
So there's this telepathic communication which has been created.
Yeah. I know exactly what he wants. And everybody says, how did you know?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing how your antennas, your channels widen, and how in tune we become when we do this work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because the mind is becoming more quiet. You're moving away from the mind. So the cloud, the fog is going away. And clarity is taking place.
Mm.
Well, it was nice seeing you all once again. The next academy is going to be next Thursday again, because next Tuesday I'm having an event at Gail Zachary at her ranch. All the information is on my website. Yeah, her address and everything. It's a free event on Tuesday evening. It's open to everyone. It's a potluck, so bring some food or drinks with you. Event begins at, what time does it start? 7? Yeah, we start at 7 to 9:30 in the evening. And what are we doing?
It's Magic Tuesday.
It's a Magic Tuesday. Yeah, the Magic Tuesday event. So if you
Heart healing and shamanic.
Yeah, okay. Heart healing and shamanic, heart opening and shamanic. Yeah. she's gonna read the description. I'm sorry, because I have so many different events, so many different places. I forget what they are. So yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't have the mental presence to know to explain to you the title of the event. It's Magic Tuesday. A heart healing and third eye activation event. That's what the event is. So
That's happened when you have 50 events.
yeah, so that's that. And then do you have any announcement regarding Ore or our upcoming?
We only have a few early bird seats left, and everything else is sold out. All the other areas are sold out.
Are you on mute?
When I unmute, it's really bad feedback, but I think they can hear me.
Right. Okay. So we only have a few more space is available for our early bird in Ore. Ore, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's our retreat this summer, which is from July 3rd to 12th, that I'm teaching the fifth dimensional quantum healing and awareness training program, level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so we still have a few spaces available for early birds. Huh? Yeah, double occupancy. We are sold out on our single occupancy spaces. Unfortunately, we're not doing level 3 and 4 by itself, or 1 and 2. It has to be 1 to 4 because the way everything turned out to be, we can't do that. So there's still a few spaces available. I just wanted to put it out. I do have the healing training program, level 1 and 2, here in Los Angeles, the first weekend of June. And a number of other events on May 16th, May 20th, we're having a full-on shamanic healing event, again at Gail's Ranch. And we encourage everyone to bring their drums, shakers, dress up and go embody of the deities. If you want to paint your face, bring your instruments. It's going to be a big healing event at Gail's Ranch. Then I have another event on the 24th of May. That's going to be in Irvine. It's a fifth dimensional quantum healing event. And then on May 31st, what's going on May 31st? What is it? It's another magic event, I believe. Right? Is that what it is?
Third eye activation.
Third eye activation event. That's a free event. So I'm offering 2 free events this month, May 16th and May 31st. The rest of them are paid events.
Activate
And
your psychic powers through eye activation.
is that what we're doing? Okay, May 31st, activate your psychic powers and third eye activation. And that's going to be at Gail's Ranch. So this is what's happening. You can go on my website, zarathustra.tv, and check out the upcoming events with all the details. Feel free to, if you have any questions or comments, you can write it to us via our email or Facebook, or come on our the Academy page that we have, and you can join in. You can also review and watch all our previously recorded videos on my YouTube channel or from Facebook. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday, same time. We will be broadcasting from 10 to 11 Pacific, 11:30, 10 to 11:30 on Pacific Standard Time, and 19 to 20:30 Scandinavian time. Much love. Namaste.